What's up? This is Jordan Gray from Half Lit and DopelivenTV.
Hey, this your boy Don Ritchie representing the Midwest 219 Stand Up.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Lamar Tate.
This is your girl, Monifa.
Hey, what up? It's your man Dave Hollister from Blackstreet.
You know what this is right here. This Trigger Tretch in the building.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is your boy Jason Weaver. And whenever I'm back home in the Chi, I'm checking out Dope Living TV.
Hey, it's your girl, Adina Howard, and you're watching Dope Living TV, live with Greg Gray and the crew.
Hey, what's up? It's your boy Greg Gray, Dope Living TV Live. Let me start out by saying that the views that are expressed on this Dope Living TV Live are not necessarily the views of Dope Living TV or its affiliates. Having said that, man, we're going to have a great day today. This is the day before the shortest month of the year, Black History Month, all right? And we're going to celebrate it, okay? But we're going to celebrate Black history that's happening right now, today, not way back in 400 years ago. And this now we're going to celebrate today those people that are doing the things, living their dreams and making them come true. All right, let me start off by bringing on my partner in crime. It's dark in there, Gina. Where you at? There you go.
I am right here. What's up?
That's my girl. Gina, let's bring on Marcella.
Marcy!
Marcella, you see that tongue action? What's up?
No. What's up? There it is. What's
Put
up?
My man over there laughing, okay?
Hey, buddy.
Mo B!
Hey, look, man. I want y'all to clap up, man. Clap this up. We had this guy on, and now he a part of the family. Okay, y'all say what's up.
What's up? What's up? How you doing?
Welcome to the family.
Well, thank you for having me aboard. All right, I'm the adopted one.
That's my man's over there. Okay? Now, today, man, we're going to talk about. We're going to talk to Miss Eve Gomez. She has a magazine called Ethereal Lifestyle magazine. All right. Before we do that, man, look, I need everybody to take a moment. Former Miss USA, I think it was Chelsea Chris. She was 30 years old. Committed suicide by jumping from a building in New York. And I don't want to bring the mood down. She was an attorney. She's a correspondent on expertise. We have to try to help those, recognize when someone is screaming out for help. You never know. You can't tell all the time what's going on with somebody. Okay, let's love up on each other. Let's help each other out. Okay, our condolences to the family, and we're praying for her. We're praying for anybody that's going through something. I got a question real quick before I bring Eve on. If a dog and a pack horse had a race, which one will win?
If a what?
If a dog and a pack horse had a race, which one will win?
A dog and a what?
A dog and a pike horse had a race. I'm sorry. Win.
I still don't know what you're saying. There's an echo. I can't understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm getting feedback too.
If a dog and a pike had a race, which one will win?
A pie cart?
Pike horse. If a dog and a pike horse had a race, which one will win?
What's a pie cost?
About $6. Let me see,
you know what? I ran right into it. I dove into it.
I did like people said,
you walked right into that, Marcy.
Right into it.
You walked right into it.
I ran into that one.
Everybody say what's up to my girl Eve Gomez. What's going on, Eve?
Hi, Eve.
Well, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
That was a good one, Greg.
You already know how I do.
Don't tell him that. You'll be coming on with a corny
More.
joke every day.
Well, we all walked right into it, didn't we? We
Uh-uh.
tripped.
No, I did real
Yeah.
big.
Well, I was sitting out there like this.
She's got a little halo over her head today.
I said,
Yes, she
and
does.
then
I have a
Marcy just
halo
kept
on
on.
me every day.
The investigator
All
Marcy
right.
just kept pushing. She kept
I'm
pushing.
like, wait a minute, what?
She
Because I couldn't
kept
understand what he
pushing.
was saying.
Because I
I'm
said
like,
it once. I said, a what?
and when it
I
came
I
out,
was not saying anything until my mind
and see, I was
it
really
started to
talking
make
to
sense to me.
myself. I was really talking to myself. What is a pie cup? And that's when it like, duh.
I know I asked you.
Greg got jokes already. Yes, I do. Let's do. Eve, what's going on, baby?
Good evening. I apologize for the picture behind me. I was hoping that there was a way that I can do a background, but I'm not on the computer, so I don't have that luxury to do. I'm going from one point to another, so I'm parked right now. And I thank you for inviting me, Greg. It's been a while. We talked about this some years ago, and here I am, thanks to Miss Gina.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Welcome,
All right, Miss Gina.
Eve.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
So, Eve,
Same to you.
Eve, we want to celebrate you, you know, because
I'm losing audio.
Ethereal is a magazine that's out there. You know, I knew you could do it, okay, but you know, God has his way of making people take their time going around certain avenues and this and that. But you're doing it, okay. You want to tell us about the magazine?
Yes, and it's funny you say Eve the Real, because I'm Eve, the real thing, and it's actually a Greek name that's ethereal.
Okay.
And ethereal stands for the type of lifestyle that I've been leading by example. And I do remember in 2017, if not early of 2018, I had shared this idea, this concept with you some years ago, but it wasn't about my time. It was about God's time. And I've been around doing several things. I'm a servant leader first before anything else. I don't give myself titles because God is the one that gets them. And so this finally launched in November, Ethereal Lifestyle magazine. And so it's a very diverse magazine. For those that have seen it, you know that it's not just any magazine, especially coming from GI, right? I was raised in Gary, Indiana. I'm originally from Mexico. Right? I came to Gary, Indiana as a very young girl, so I know more of USA than my own country. I am an American citizen and doing what needs to be done. I don't concern myself with what needs to be done. If I see the need, I feel it. I'm not going to sit here and wonder and ponder how. I just do it. As some people ask me, how do you do it? I say, well, how do I not do it? Because I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me.
All right.
And I'm nothing but on his strength. That's it. And I don't dwell on how, when, where, what, as long as I know who. And so Ethereal Lifestyle is here, and it's a diverse magazine, but that's just one part of Ethereal Lifestyle LLC. And there's more to come. That was just a start to shine some light out of people that don't normally get recognized. Again, I don't believe in titles, and so I see that people get recognized if they have a title and they have a check that comes right behind it. I don't necessarily just look for, well, they're getting paid to serve. No, those that are really serving from the heart, those that are really doing things to make a difference, that aren't looking for that paycheck, but they're looking for God's check. And that's the best check, the biggest one you'll ever get. And so there's going to be workshops. There's going to be lunch and learns. Right now, I have scheduled a women's spiritual retreat that's coming up on Mother's Day weekend. We're about to throw it out there this weekend, so we can invite any woman from anywhere that needs some healing, right? Or to find themselves, as the theme is, knowing the inner you. That's something that was also in the plan, but it doesn't happen when I want it. It's happening when God wants it. And you could never have the best time, but on his time.
Absolutely. Eve.
Awesome.
Eve.
She's doing her thing.
Yes, she is.
Moving. I'm moving and shaking. They say if you want something done, give it to the busiest person. It'll get done. I wish they wouldn't say that. I wish they wouldn't say that because you'd be surprised how many people want me to do things. That's like, I got to start learning to say no and not feel bad about it because you're working your own business and you're building it and you have staff. It's a different type of day you look at, right? And you got to remember everything. Plus, I'm also an interpreter by trade. So I'm still interpreting. I still have that business and translating legal documents or any document needs to be translated. I do have some staff.
Eve, let me interject for a second. But you
Yes,
remember,
yes. Slow me down if I'm going too fast.
Yeah, you're going too fast.
I'm just excited.
I told you a long time ago. Remember, we used to have talks because Eve is also a radio personality as well, and we used to have talks. And Eve had so much stuff on her plate, and I said, Eve, slow down, do one thing really well.
And he telling somebody, right?
Okay, look who's talking.
But what did I say? What did I say? How did I respond, Greg?
Basically, you were saying, well, yeah, you're right, but this is here, this is there, and this is there, and somebody's got to do it.
I'm serving. When I see the need, I feel it. I don't look for, let's see who's going to do it when God is pointing my way.
Yeah.
So it's all about obedience too. And for whom much is given, much is required. And I'm just excited. I'm full of excitement. So I hope you guys can feel it because this is me all day long. I don't care how tired this body is, but my spirit is always on fire for what can we do to make a difference? You know, if you only knew, you'd be getting excited too. Don't worry about what for. Just know that greatness is on its way.
I would always tell her slow down, but she didn't slow down, and she did it. I mean, she did it like when she was on the radio. She did it effortlessly. Okay, then got up and went somewhere else and did something else, and this and that. Okay, I mean, panel, don't let me run this. Okay, that's Eve Gomez. She is a what is it called?
Ethereal.
Ethereal.
Like I told my staff, Google that name and learn what it means, and you'll understand what the company is all about.
You're gonna fire them if they don't get it. Fire them. Let them go.
Doesn't that mean seeming to belong to another world? Is that what ethereal means?
Spiritual, dainty, yes. Heavenly, peace, calm, yes. And that's what I stand for.
There you
go. Don't need to be rich with dollar signs to have it. I live it every day.
Well, I always say wealth is not what you deposit into your bank account. Wealth is what you deposit into someone's life.
Amen to that. And so I'm a billionaire.
Eve, let me
borrow $1, Eve. Let me borrow $1.
All right, send me your cash app. No.
Because I'm gonna take the money. Let me get about 100,000. But no, Eve, I'm so proud of you. Eve isn't going to be on here too long because she got some other, of course, she got some other things to do. Okay, but Eve, number one, I want to tell you that I'm so proud of you because, like I said, we've talked over 20 years ago, basically, almost.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time, and you honestly, you serve your purpose. I didn't say serve. You serve your purpose.
Yes.
And,
yes.
I knew back then that you would do it, but you didn't need anybody to do it for you. You know?
Right.
You get that. Right. What has been some of your struggles, though?
Some of my struggles, that's if you consider them as struggles, and I don't consider them as struggles. I call them learning periods, learning times. And God will stretch you. And when you see that is what's happening, you don't look at it any longer as a struggle. I've worked and served in the community for almost 30 years. I know I don't look it right. I have 2 adult kids, but if I were to say that I struggled, would be the time that I took care of my 2 children, young children, and my 2 younger children, which was my parents. You know, parents revert to being more dependable once they get older and they have health issues. And so I still didn't even see it as a struggle because my income was minimal. I mean, I was living under the poverty level, and you would have never known, Greg. And you talked to me, and you would have never known because I didn't live like that. My life was rich, right? Of hope, of peace. And it didn't matter what I didn't have because I knew one day I will, you know. And so I've counted my quarters, if that's what you want to call it, struggle. I counted the quarters to put some gas in my car, only to make it to Gary from Hammond to take my parents to the doctor.
Why did you never ask me for nothing?
Because you weren't hardly around, and when you were there, it was already taken care of. You see, I always knew that God always made a way. Where there's a way, you know, where there's a will, there's a way. And so, but I was still thriving. It didn't matter what I didn't have in my pocket.
Yeah, but I would have been there for. I never knew though.
Because I don't look like what I've been through, you see?
None of us
Good.
do.
Yeah.
Amen to that.
Yeah. God only sends his strongest warriors out in the bottom.
That's right. There you go. And we don't get burned.
I'm Kevin McLemore. I'm the new kid on the block. So,
Well, good evening, Kevin. Pleasure meeting you.
pleasure to meet you, young queen. I'm glad that to be part of your journey and yours and what you're going through. I will tell you, looking through your magazine, the covers, the photographs, is should be hung into a museum. The covers are beautiful.
Thank you.
Is that your vision? One
Yes.
of your kids, the photographer.
Keep it elegant with class, because that's what God wants it to be. He wants the best, and He gives us the best. We just got to know how to take it, how to handle it, and work with it and run with what He gives you. When He gives you the vision, we know, for those of us that know, He'll give you the provision. So that magazine stands for what it is: ethereal, classy, elegant, peaceful, heavenly. You know, I love the clouds, so I take a lot of pictures the last 12, 14 years of clouds, of the earth, of outside, so that people can slow down and see the beauty that we've been blessed with on a daily basis that we often take for granted. So that magazine will also remind people of that. And I don't know if you've seen any of the issues, but I have the pleasure of having Authors Guild on this last issue, which was January, and it looks amazing. It looks amazing, doesn't it, Ms. Dina?
Yes. And we're so appreciative. It's a beautiful cover. Each author has their own full page, some of them 2 pages, some of them 3 pages. And so it was just a delight to work with Eve, and she made sure that everything was 100%. I mean, it's flawless.
Thank you.
It's all right.
It's all right, because you haven't seen it. Because you haven't seen it. I take that, I take it deep in my heart to hear those words, because I can't take credit. God put it in me, so it all He gets the credit.
Hey, Clara Fleming wants to know, what is one of your quotes that you live by?
What's what? I'm sorry.
One of your quotes that you live by.
One of the quotes: life is what you make of it. That's my own quote. And life is simple. People complicate it.
Okay. Eve, I was looking through your background, and other than just the magazine, and I know you said there's a lot of.
Just Google my name, and you'll find my email or my number, and I'll bless you with the January issue so that you can see.
Right.
You were saying, lady.
I already sent you a friend's request, so
go ahead.
Okay, wonderful.
Okay, I see that you were executive director of the Safe Coalition for Human Trafficking. Are you still doing that?
I am doing that, but with Rahab's daughter now. I serve as a connector. I'm always looking. I don't even look. God just brings them to me. Broken women, women that feel less of, but I also deal with parents to make sure that they know where their kids are, because human trafficking is so big in Northwest Indiana, more than you know. So we give the signs, we give what to look for. I speak highly of it on the radio every chance I get. We're still on the only bilingual talk radio of its kind in the region and beyond, and going on 11 years now in WLTH radio. And so I take it to heart.
You're on WLTH?
I have been for almost 11 years.
Wow.
And she does a show that
I had my own show as well, Real Talk with EVE and Sound Off with EVE, and it's all about you with EVE. EVE is my surname, it's my celebrity name. It stands for an acronym. I'm full of excitement, I'm victorious, and I'm energetic and empowering. So
since you're doing the if you guys don't mind, since you guys are doing conversations on sex trafficking, because I know here in Philadelphia, every single person I've talked to about this, and I've had this as a new series, Black people don't know that this is even a problem. Are we ignoring it because of the way we've been taught historically?
The word that's so famous is calling them hookers, and in all actuality, they are being trafficked. They're being trafficked. So
well, you know what? We have someone else behind the scenes that deals a little bit with that as well. We're going to bring her on. She's an author as well, Danny Smith Mathis.
I don't see no
Well,
face.
hello, Miss Mathis.
I don't see no face.
Hi.
I see a name or something there,
Well,
an icon.
she became famous and now she's a symbol. We've
see
had
that,
another
right?
brother that did that.
I see that,
We're
right?
getting some
Just like
interference.
Prince.
I'm sorry. What am I supposed to do here?
You're supposed to
Hit,
draw a face on. I don't care.
Get him, Mike. How in the what
hit
is
the camera. Hit the camera. There's a
camera.
camera symbol at the bottom.
Yeah.
Just tap on that because
Looks
it's
like a little flower. Okay.
See, I can't help you.
I'm sorry, guys, but I am getting such great feedback.
Is that it? Did I do it?
You
did
All right, she's getting Eve's getting echo.
Did I do it?
All right, who has the echo?
I can't understand anything right now. I don't know what just happened.
If anyone has on 2 devices, turn down the volume on 1. You're going to get feedback.
Eve understands. She's bilingual. She understands us.
Okay. Did I do it?
And then she had to, but she did have to go. She'll probably pop back on, but she had to go.
You're on, Danny.
Okay. I'm on. Hi.
What's that?
Hello, Mrs.
Hey.
Mathis.
Miss Matt. No, just call me Danny. First of all, I'm not Miss.
I'm a Southern boy. Hey, Eve, I have one more question. I know you have to go because I'm trying to find the answer. How do we educate our people on sex trafficking without us turning a blind eye?
Sharing the word. You know, people talk about everything than what's really important. People love to be heard. People talk to be heard instead of to be understood, right? Instead of listening to understand. We got to speak loud every day. Share the information you know, empty it out of you, and share it to families, to parents. Bring it to workshops, bring it to schools, bring it to wherever you can until they listen. It's sad and unfortunate that people sometimes don't do anything until it happens to them. And then they want you to support the cause after it's happening to them instead of being proactive and preventative. I'm a very proactive individual. So there is an event coming up in March, and I'll be one of the panelists. I will share that information once I get it, and that is with Rahab's daughter. I have spoken to the director, and she's amazing, and her husband, and they rescue in the biggest location that they have the highest rescuing numbers, and that's at the Super Bowl. At the Super Bowl game, that's where they get to rescue a lot more people and kids than anywhere else. And so that's what they do, but they also offer all the services under that falls what they need. I've met a couple of authors that actually were victims of human trafficking. One of them, unfortunately, is battling with cancer, and her story was just, it'll break you just to hear. And it started with her as a child. Her mother was also being trafficked and got her to do it. And that's how it's a generational thing that goes on, unfortunately. So we have to teach our young girls to watch out for, because the vulnerable are the weak, and they're the ones that they get groomed. They use friends to groom them, even boys.
I was going to say young boys, because when I was listening to Ashton Kutcher and his Thorn Foundation, when he said that grown men were traveling out of the country in order to pay a high price to have intercourse with young boys, did not realize that the primary product was 8 to 13-year-old boys of color.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yep. It's sickening, but it's true.
That's crazy.
It's evil. It's very evil, and those are demons. And so it's unfortunate that it's bigger than you know. They've had some bust in Northwest Indiana. There's still a lot more cases. When you think that the child's missing, it's not always the case. They're being trafficked.
But how do you and Danny, we're gonna get to you in a second. But
I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah, you are fine, girl. How do you you fine too, Eve? All right, don't.
Oh, I already know that. Thank you.
She already said that, right? Remember, you missed that part.
Yeah.
I'm all that in a bag of chips, and that's what God said.
2 bags, Eve. 2 bags.
But how can you identify those that, because a lot of those people do not come out. They don't say anything because they, people are pressuring them not to say anything. How do we get them out? And we're actually going to do a show on this again, and I think it's going to be more of a concerted effort to try to make sure that people do understand. But real quick, how do you identify these people?
Well, what I noticed in a family personally, the mom, you can tell by how it's sad, but we become stereotypical, right? The tattoos, the shyness, the behavior, as in don't I don't want people to know this, I don't want people to know that. They're so insecure. They change their phone numbers quite a bit. And so her daughter was also changing her phone numbers quite a bit, and their stories would change. And here I am as a humanitarian, as a humble woman that loves people to help her and her kids. And she's telling me her brother wants to traffic her own daughter, but she does not want that life for her daughter. But there was a lot of inconsistencies where they will invite these girls to a hotel and saying it's just a party. Watch out for that. Watch out for those that stay alone. Make it your business to find out why they're always sitting by themselves, or why they're so shallow or shy, and they don't want to be communicating with people because they don't want to be found out. And the thing is, the worst part of it is they get manipulated, they get brainwashed, that they think that they're their best friends, they're the only ones that can be there for them. And what's worse is when the kids aren't having a great relationship with their parents, they make them a vulnerable child, that they run away. And so for 3 to 6 months, they give them everything they want, everything. And they've already been brainwashed. And after that, guess what? They are owned by them. And now it's
pay the piper.
So they feel like they owe them.
Yeah. And they feel like, oh no, it's my boyfriend. There's no boyfriend. Well, he's got you doing this, that, and whatever with the others, but he's helped me so much. And they feel like they can't be without that person. I mean,
so Eve, look, I wanna invite you back when we do talk about this, okay? So that you can.
I appreciate it. Thank you. And that's because I've been in the community working with the higher ed at different levels, working with students at different levels, different organizations. I sit on a couple school boards and non-for-profits as well. And people want to touch my brain and want to know what's up here. So they said, hey, can I pick your brain? I need to talk with you. Or we're working on this project. We want you to be part of this project. What do you see that's needed? Because as an interpreter also, I see a lot of things that a lot of people don't see, because we're in the courtroom and I get to see what's happening, the injustices and all that. But because I work for God, no one can censor me. So I get to say some things out here without mentioning names.
And we get to say some things on this show without
Hey, I'm going to tell you, I mentioned some names. If I know you're wrong, I'm going to call you out.
Oh, when I'm talking about children,
you're gonna fit in good,
with kids.
If it's a legal case, I cannot bring that out because I need to protect our children.
No,
Eve, are you part of
it?
So important.
If you don't mind, with your permission, I'm going to ask you one more question.
Real quick.
Because I know we have all these individual groups out there having the same conversation, but none of them are getting together. What's the responsibility with the media with getting this information? Because I notice when there's an Amber Alert and you're lighter and brighter, everyone seems to search for you, but we don't get the same attention when one of our Black and brown children are missing.
Right.
I have seen that, but if I see it, I'm a different media. It's unfortunate that media is the evildoer nowadays. They're out there for who gets the higher ratings, who gets the interview quicker than somebody else. And I love to share what's happening with my Black and brown community. I'm at the forefront advocating for them, because a lot of people, even though they know the language, they don't know their rights, they don't know what they can do. They feel that they are inferior, they're intimidated, they're embarrassed, they don't know how to ask questions. And so I'm one of those to say, this is how you ask, this is what you need to do, this is what you need to know. Now let me send you to this referral, this attorney, this therapist, this doctor, this counselor. So it's what you know, not always who you know, because what you know, you can direct someone in a better direction than just who you know, because it doesn't always work out. So whatever you guys need me to share, by all means, tag me. It's important to bring it out. We have a lot of Black and brown kids missing.
Yes, ma'am.
A
And
lot.
so,
The
Keith,
Amber, I'm always sharing them.
what'd you say, Gina?
what's the ultimate goal of Ethereal? What's the long-term goal?
You got it right. It's either real. Go ahead, girl.
Ethereal, you're correct. And it's either real because it goes after E for Eve. But the long term of Ethereal is actually international. We're working on a mission trip to Mexico. Actually, me, but I don't put it out there as long as God knows what I'm doing. But I will be bringing some people along with me because we need to teach humility at its best. And I'd love to keep myself humble every day, but I need to teach others to do the same. Titles don't make you, God makes you. And I don't brag about titles because you can be broken behind that title.
Mm-hmm.
And some do it because they get a paycheck. So do it because it's in your heart. And that's what I'm here to teach. I'm a speaker as well. I speak to youth. I speak to women's conferences. I'm an author. So, I mean, just Google my name and I say this humbly with all my heart and sincerity. I've been working as a humanitarian for almost 30 years. And it gives me great pleasure to see the outcome, to know that I have sown a good seed into somebody else's life, to change their direction of thoughts, change their direction of feelings. I've dealt with a lot of women that are broken and all they want to do is dog out their husband or boyfriend. And I stop that because, you know, if you throw fire with fire, it just will not be a happy medium. It will not
all burn up.
really hurt you. So I stop that. I stop them from speaking that out publicly on social media, especially because it says a lot about them as well. So start praying some more so that they can have their peace that they so need.
So
And
tell everybody how they can get your magazine.
if you here, I'll give you my email address, info@ethereallifestyle.com. That's 2 L's. Ethereal is 1 L and lifestyle is the other L.
Somebody write that down so I can put it up.
Right. TheRealLifestyle.com. Put all together.
Ethereal.
Yeah, some people call it Ethereal, but it's Ethereal. It's a Greek name.
Whatever it's called, I mean, I think it's going to do extremely well. It probably has
Most
already.
definitely will. It's an international magazine, and the links on the digital copy actually come to life, so people can actually click on your link and go to whatever you're offering, book, service, product, and they're able to get in touch with you. The hard copy obviously is different, but the digital, that's the beauty of it. And I'm just looking forward to March, even though February is about to come out, but March is International Women. So I am dedicating that whole magazine to some powerful women out there.
That's what's
Give me that again.
Ethereal Lifestyle.
We got you. Let us know when you got something going on, Eve, and we'll definitely support you. All right.
Yeah, let us know when you're gonna put. Let us know when you're gonna put men on the cover. Greg and I want to audition.
Oh, you guys want to be on the covers? Well,
I want to be on the naked cover. I want to be on the naked cover.
Well,
I'm going to withdraw my invite to be on the cover with that.
Yeah, you can't be on that. You get on the other.
He said nope.
Magazine if you got no clothes, unless I don't know. Yeah, we'd have to plan that one out because
Eve, that's the Adam and Eve issue. I'm gonna. Well, oh wow, Eve.
No, Adam is my brother, by the way, guys. I have a twin brother named Adam.
Oh no,
that is
you're
cute.
serious?
Wow.
Adam and Eve?
Yes.
The irony.
Wow.
But as I say, this Eve will not be here to be deceiving as the last Eve did. She got too, but
you got
but
a
I
lot,
think you guys.
a lot of sayings.
Yeah, I do have quite a few of my own quotes too, and I mean them with all sincerity because it's called wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Many people need it more than just opinions, and get some facts more than just your thoughts. So I just keep it real. I with all sincerity. I love people and I love on my youth. When I get the opportunity to talk to them, I love on them. They think it's funny when I say I'm here to love on you, because they lack the understanding of what love is.
That's what's
so.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me on.
Thank you. It was definitely a pleasure, Eve. I appreciate you so much.
That is 2 L's.
All right, baby
girl.
girl.
Ethereal has 1 L and then lifestyle's the other L. I texted to you guys or I messaged on chat if
it's scrolling at the bottom. It's scrolling at the bottom, so we are good. I got you, girl.
Thank you. Thank you
So-
so much. Spread the word, not the virus. I also been doing COVID testing, so I'm sitting here
She
to
said,
deliver.
spread the word, not the virus. Hey, if a
That's my
dog
slogan, guys. Spread the word, not the virus. I am also a minister, so spread the word, not the virus. And the virus is gossip, drama, toxic.
I chew.
All right.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate you. Love you. Have an awesome, blessed evening. Be safe.
Love you too.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
All right, that's Eve Gomez. And this is Danny Smith. What's the last name?
Dan.
Mathis?
Danny Smith Mathis.
What's
Dan,
that?
Dan.
What's up, guys and ladies?
Good.
Gina, I'm gonna let you take this one.
Well, you know what? Danny is a very good author. You know how I know?
How you
Because she has an award-winning book.
There go that
Yes.
word.
Yes.
And something that's very difficult, and I've been asked to do this and I've turned it down because I know how difficult it is. But Danny wrote this book with 19 other authors.
What?
Yes.
Excuse me.
So I'm going to give you the floor, Danny, because I can't even see myself doing it.
Oh yeah, it was a chore, but it was, it was time. We 20 of us got together and we told our stories about our experiences with systemic racism in corporate America. The name of the book is called Shut 'Em Down: Black Women, Racism in Corporate America. And so my chapter is called Get the Language Right, which comes from an unknown speech by Dr. Martin Luther King called I Want to Get the Language Right, or Getting the Language Right. YouTube, Google that. It is a phenomenal speech. So it was actually spoken by Dr. King after he and Malcolm started to kind of get together during that time of his life. And he talked about, in his speech, he said, somebody told a lie one day. They made everything black. They couched it in language, making everything black, evil and sinister and degrading and ugly, and everything white, high and mighty and holy and pure. He said, but I want to get the language right tonight. So I named my chapter Get the Language Right because I had a very unique experience where I was brought up in a Black Catholic Republican home. And my experiences were very varied with people. And it had a lot of I didn't need the outside influence. Like I didn't have to go to an HBCU or this, that, and the third. My folks, my family was my historically Black college. It really was. My inner family was. I mean, my family migrated from North Carolina and Virginia to New Jersey. We never had family reunions because everybody lived within a 5-mile radius of each other. And so, our family reunions were just dinners on weekends, dinners on Sundays and stuff. People just coming over to our house. Our house was the spot, right? Mm-hmm. And then we had a lot of people in our lives because my father became the first African-American to become president of any college and university in the state of New Jersey. Mm-hmm. And he became president of Essex County College back in 1971, 3 years after the Newark riots in Newark, New Jersey. So I remember him hosting people from all over the world to be part of this college. And it was just an amazing experience because it was white people. It was people from India, people from England, people from Nigeria. I mean, all of these people ended up to be his vice presidents. And so we were just exposed to so much. So having that exposure gave me a feeling of just comfort in terms of how the world really was supposed to operate by accepting people who were different from yourself. And that was the norm for us, to accept people that were different from ourselves. We didn't know anything else. So when I got into corporate America, I had a different experience too, because my father was so well connected. People were giving us jobs. And white people were giving us jobs because of my father. So we knew what it was like to be privileged in a sense, like white people know what it's like to be privileged. because you know somebody. And we're not talking about menial jobs. We're talking about good paying jobs at 16, 17 years old back in the day. And so when I got into corporate America, I was used to fraternizing with white folks. I was used to fraternizing with Black folks. I was used to fraternizing with all kinds of folks. And so when I got to this particular company, things shifted a little bit for me, particularly when these two white women became my bosses and my bosses, my two bosses. And because of a merger and acquisition in that particular company, they had not grown up in the culture of that company. They came in 5 years after I did. And I had already established, my narrative was already established. The language about who I was in that company had already been established. In fact, it had been so established that the CEO called me Mama D. So there was a sense that everybody knew me as the nurturer in that company, as the person who was always going around just asking folks, how are you? How are you doing? And these were people that weren't in my department. They didn't report to me. It was just the way we roll. I mean, that's just how a Black woman rolls in my mind. Mm-hmm. So when these two white women came into my department through this merger and acquisition, and my reporting structure changed, my entire life changed. And they definitely gaslighted me. There was tone policing. There was really harassment, to be honest with you. And there was all these microaggressions. And I was not used to that, because prior to that, my experience had been white women who were my sponsors, who were my champions, who were my mentors, who were like mothers and sisters to me inside and outside corporate America. We're a heavily educated family. And so I taught college at a university for 30 years. And so my exposure just was not that. And so that took me off. It threw me off. It took me off guard. And so I wrote my story and Shut 'Em Down about how I got thrown off guard and all of the ins and outs of all the kind of the things that I'm just telling you. And that was and I wanted them to get the language right about me, because they tried to change the narrative about me because of their own insecurities. But I told them, you need to get the language right. And in fact, I have to tell you this. So I got to the point where I said, I know I got to go. And so I said, everybody says, well, you need to give them 2 weeks notice because you don't want to burn bridges. I said, well, here's the thing. First of all, there is no bridge. And I said, and second of all, if there is a bridge, they treat me like the troll under it. So it doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. So I gave them 48 hours notice. And when I left, I wore a shirt that said, I'm out, Harriet Tubman, 1849.
Go ahead, girl.
Wow.
Miss Mathis.
Whoa.
Was that the first time you discovered you were Black?
I already knew I was Black. No, that's the first time I discovered that they were insecure with me because I was Black.
Okay.
Now, the reason why I asked that is because when I got released from the Lions and I had to go out into the corporate world, I had an experience in New York City where I crossed 6th Avenue directly in front of Radio City, and I went against the light. A lighter, brighter young lady clutched her purse, put her back against the wall, and said, "Please don't hurt me. I've got a gun in my purse."
Wow.
And I'm going, wait a minute. I'm in a double-breasted suit. I remember like yesterday, I had a red tie, had black shoes on, and I had a Coach bag. I looked nothing like someone was going to hurt him. I called my dad that evening, and I asked Dad, I said, I told him about the experience, and my father says, "Welcome to the world." He says, "Now you know you're Black." Because I have been an athlete, I have been, I guess, fast-tracked to another life. But when I came back to reality, someone confirmed this is the way the world is. And that's the reason why I asked you that question.
No, and I appreciate that, Kevin. But here's the thing. If I really were to do soul searching, and I have to the answer to that question, do you know when I found out I was Black? When light white guys wouldn't date me.
Wait a minute, light Black guys?
Yes.
Your color, Marcy.
I did not pass the brown paper bag test.
Wow.
And so I was, the most discrimination I have ever felt as a Black woman came from light-skinned Black men and light-skinned white men. light-skinned black women.
Hey, but
And that
Danny, you ain't got to worry about nothing because they played out now. The dark skinned brothers are in.
Well, I mean, but here's the thing. I wasn't mad at him because at the end of the day, I was always comfortable in my own skin. And that came from the fact of that was genetic. That was my DNA. That was my family DNA. I was like, they don't know who I am anyway, so it's okay. That's their issue. And so I was able to, although it did catch me off guard when I was in corporate America because of my experience with white people, and there became a level of trust. And I mean, I was in my 50s when this happened. So, and I had been in corporate America since I was 18. So there's a long history of me being comfortable. But that uncomfortability really got jolted a few years ago, and I was like, oh, I see. But no, my father taught me very, very early on about how we maneuver with each other and how they maneuver with us. And so I was always clear about that. Very politically astute. And I was politically astute when I was at Carnegie Mellon as an undergrad. I was politically astute when I was at grad school at the University of Southern Cal, and everywhere in between. A lot of things did not catch me by surprise until that happened, and that's why I wrote about it.
So, Danny, the book that you wrote,
yes,
are there only Black women?
Yes, it is. It is the first time that 20 Black women have actually really just said what had to be said about their experience with systemic racism in corporate America. And then there's a sequel to that called Everyday Struggle, how toxic workspaces impact Black women. Because see, here's the thing.
You got 40 women this time?
No, well, there was 13 the second time and 20 the first time. 20 the first time, 13. But I was in on both of them. And
why are you writing with all of these people as opposed to you just doing it yourself?
I am a full-time grandmother. I have my own business. And it is, it's just the way that God is moving me right now. It's the way that God is moving me right now because I believe in collaboration. Mm-hmm. I don't believe, I'm big on collaboration, and I'm fine with that. I'm fine. In fact, I am working on a book by myself right now. And so it's in the making. So you'll hear more about that.
So let me ask you a question.
And I'm also doing a documentary, so I'm doing a lot of things. I'm not just co-signing on other stuff. I'm doing some other things.
It's another Jamaican, y'all.
No.
Hey, I got to ask this question both to Gina and Danny, because since it was a collaboration and you're an award-winning author, congratulations.
Thanks.
Did the other 19 girls get pissed off because you got an award?
No, because they're doing their own thing, and it was understood.
I don't want to write with Danny.
We're sisters. We're sisters in writing. No, I actually named the group. We're sisters in writing, and everyone. We knew at the very beginning that my sorority sister, who actually spearheaded this project.
What sorority?
I'm a Delta.
All right. My niece is a Delta. So
okay.
There's a young lady that didn't get recognition standing in your front yard with a brick. I mean, beware.
Oh.
Iron.
But let me get back to the question. Yeah, so we all knew that we were going to do what we could to get the message out in any way we could in wherever our spaces allowed us to do that. And how we take it is what we do with it. So I'm actually taking my 2 chapters and I'm having them certified as courses for DEI, hopefully through the Forbes Institute.
Danny, on your chapter.
I was going to say, do me one favor, because I listened to this a lot in my space. Don't forget, when you guys are writing 40 Women Strong, that the Black man is an endangered species. I mean, I always say being a Black man is an adventure. And especially when they get together with 40 women talking about what women are going through. We have a lot of dynamic young men, old men that are standing, protecting, and embracing your woman. And sometimes when you guys get together, we seem to be overshadowed and put in our place when we should be there supporting you. So just remember in the writing that one, you talk about collaboration, one cannot be one without the other, because in order for us to do this thing together, we have to be whole in who
Yes.
we are as Black men, Black women.
Oh, I totally agree, Kevin. You're preaching to the choir. I'm a traditional Black woman.
And I can tell that.
Marcy, you had something you wanted to ask?
Yes, I just want to ask a question
Marcella.
with your second book, The Silence of the Soil.
Yes.
Can you kind of give us a summary of your chapter with that, please?
Yeah, so that was an everyday struggle, how toxic workspaces impact Black women. So for me, that was more of a short version of what I wrote about in Shut Them Down.
Okay.
And so what I did was I took the actual topics that I was dealing with and I defined them for myself as a Black woman so that the audience could understand what it is, examples of microaggression, examples of tone policing, examples of gaslighting, examples of sexism and harassment as it pertained to my experience.
Okay.
And so I took that and I just embellished it. It's a much shorter chapter. It's not meant to tell my story. It's meant to tell more about the things that I speak about in my story.
Okay.
Okay. So if you all want it, here you can, Danny at www.danny10k.com. I will send them to you. Autograph.
No, go ahead. You just took over Greg's show because he was going to ask you how do we get in touch with you, and
Yeah.
you go ahead and say Greg hesitated.
You see it over there, Greg? Yeah.
There you go, Greg. That's how you get in touch with me. That's my digital business card, and so all my social media links are there: LinkedIn, Wisdom, Clubhouse, Facebook, Instagram, and my website. Yeah. So Greg, I'm also doing some other things, and I will tell you about that shortly. So, briefly, I will say. So, the next major project that I have going on, besides the book that I am writing about my mentorship, my book is about mentorship, mentoring up and mentoring down. I'm working on a documentary film with the producers of the movie Ray. And so I am doing an historical documentary of the women who competed in the 1968 Olympics. Their stories have never been told, and so I am telling them.
Are you talking about Wilma Rudolph and?
So Wilma didn't compete in 68. She was in
Okay.
60 and 64. She is actually one of my mentors that I will be speaking about in my book. She was like a soulmate to me. But no, I am talking about Madeline Manning Nims. I'm talking about Debbie Meyer. I'm talking about Kathy Rigby. All of those kinds of folks, people that you've probably never heard of because it was overshadowed by my big brothers and mentors, John Carlos and Ron Freeman and Mel Pender and people like that.
And I've had the pleasure of meeting John Carlos and being coached by one of the women that were on the 4x1 relay.
Oh, who was that?
Lucinda Adams.
Oh, Lucinda Adams. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I went to Roosevelt High School. She was my track coach.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So I am writing their story. I am writing their story. So their story is pre-Title IX, and you'll hear more about that in hopefully months to come. I just talked to my producer, and he said that we should be finished by February 14th.
Oh, cool. You have a lot of things going on, Danny. I know that you talked about you're an entrepreneur. You have a business as well. Tell us a little bit about that.
So after I left this position that I wrote the story on in my book, I took a position here up in the Hampton Roads area. I live near the Virginia Beach area. And that was like jumping from it was just like going from one plantation to the next. So I got tired of being on a corporate plantation. And but I took one last stab at it when an international company came after me, found me on LinkedIn. I was not looking for them. They just found me. And then I took a very lucrative position, and then COVID hit and I lost it. And so after losing a very nice 6-figure job, I got on unemployment, trying to figure it out, living off of what I had. And then I said, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. I need to just go ahead and start my own thing. So that's what I did. So I contract as a proposal management. I have my own proposal management consulting firm. And that's what I do. I do what I did for other people. I just do it for myself now.
Congratulations! I'm glad to see that
Thank
you unleashed yourself from someone else's dream and selling towards yours.
Yeah.
Congratulations!
It's just you know how it is. It's just a hustle. It's just a different kind of hustle. That's all. So. Yeah.
Well, I tried to meet up with Danny when I was in Virginia Beach.
I know.
We tried to, but we were doing so much and going in different directions.
Yeah. And I'm a full-time grandmother. I have a daughter that serves in the military, so I do. I was homeschooling. I homeschooled my three eldest children, my three adult children, years and years ago, and so now and then I was divorced about 10 years ago. Started my life over again at 52, and just been moving along ever since. And so now I have a 5-year-old grandson who I was homeschooling during the pandemic, and then we decided it'd be good to put him out since he's an only child and get him a little bit more socialized. I wasn't worried about it when I had my own 3 kids because they were around a whole lot of other kids and different people at different ages when I homeschooled them, but it was different from him. So anyway, but because my daughter doesn't live with us during the week, I am a full-time grandma. So yeah.
Danny, since you said you're divorced, we had a lady on last week that wrote a book. Are you dating?
No, Kevin.
we
that sounds like a pickup line to me, Danny.
Danny,
that sounds like a pickup line.
What do you have in mind, Kevin? I'm sorry.
We got a book we want you to read.
We have a book we want you to read, or you have a book you want.
No, I was going to say we because she's another award-winning.
Don't put me. Hey, wait a minute before you say that.
I'm just trying to find out what's really going on here. Mo B, you got it. Mo B know what's happening. Look at Mo B.
Gina, tell her the title of the book, or Marcella, you tell her the title of the book.
Oh Lord, I don't have it here, but it's his new book that what is it? February.
Not his book.
No, Kevin, tell the book.
No, not
Dating
my book.
with.
Wait a minute.
No, not mine.
Not that one. Not yours.
Gina, go ahead.
Which book?
Orgasm
okay,
book.
I need to know who's on first.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about
Clara's book. Clara Fleming. Generational Orgasm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to get someone 15 years younger than you to understand chapter 4.
Chapter.
Anybody trying to die?
Yes.
He's single, right?
I don't know.
I think that book flew off the shelf after the show.
He did a little bit more than fly.
Yeah.
What? Okay.
It had a life of its own.
Sorry. What is the name of this book?
It came and went.
Generational.
What's the name of the book, Gina?
Generational Orgasms
by Kara Fleming.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm actually having this conversation with people out
Danny.
It's about time you had this conversation.
Yeah.
Okay, Kevin. All right, Kevin.
Danny, guess what, Danny? Guess what? It's an award. Sir. It's an award-winning author.
I don't doubt that. Trust and believe. Needed no collaboration.
Several times a night. There's
I tried to warn you, Danny.
Yeah, you did, Gina. You absolutely did. You absolutely did. Oh my goodness.
I'm not in it.
I have you all on my line.
Marcio, they're talking about her name is Bennett. She not in it.
Hey, Maurice. You in it? You ain't in it either.
Look,
well,
I've been quiet tonight.
I've
been really quiet.
Not working for you. I got another book for you. I just released one. So
you did, Kevin. What's the name of your book?
Kevin, what's the name of that book that you just released?
Dating with a Full Deck.
Right.
Oh, how did you get that?
How did that get there?
Huh.
Kevin, are you married? Kevin, are you married?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
So he wouldn't be dating with a full deck.
Well, believe it or not, I wrote that book because I was going through a divorce and I didn't know how to do it anymore. I'm one of the few brothers. I have no cool. When I'm interested in you, I stutter, I stumble, and whatever. If I'm not interested, I got my stuff together. But as soon as I take an interest, it's like I open my mouth and nothing comes out. It doesn't make any sense. And I'm going, I'm sorry. It's my ADHD. That's my go-to thing, you know.
Oh, that's what you say?
Yeah. That's what I have to say because otherwise I just say something something dumb. You talk about dumb or dumber?
I'm alfalfa up in this joint, dog.
Yeah.
Okay?
You know,
But
it's a different
you know,
ball game when you're older
I
trying to
realized
date.
what dating was
That's
all
true,
about.
Marcy.
It's a
Yeah.
different
It
because
is.
I'm
Yeah,
single
and what I
and it's
realized
like
that
I have no clue.
you know, when you enter someone else's life, you have to be authentic to yourself. You can't ask someone else to love you until you've fallen in love with yourself and you identify both your strengths, your weaknesses. You know, you don't want to bring someone else into your drama. And so when I realized that people didn't know how to date, I created a conversation that would not screw up the opportunity for a second date. That's all it's about. Just it's
Oh, that's
54
cool.
playing cards with a conversation that basically no matter what your age, your gender, and even if you are in a relationship, because some of us are in relationships and we're too much of a coward to get out of, and sometimes we're too damaged to even allow someone that's good for us to enter our lives. Um, or we're in that position that we just kind of settled, and then all of a sudden, guess what happens? Your best friend, your next door neighbor, is the one that you always have eyes for and whatever, and you go, "Damn, I just got married," and that's the person I really love. And I always use Phil Donahue and Marlo Thomas as an
Yeah.
example.
That's
They're the
great.
only two couples that no one trashed them when they came out and said they've been cheating on their spouses for 3 years. And that's when that conversation came out, soulmate. And everyone says, you know something, you deserve to have the right to be happy. You know, you live this life by you, not everyone else. And my book is no judgmental, you know?
That's good for a relationship, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can talk about that. And if your relationship fails, Danny, you can always get the orgasm book.
Or I could just I could just get the orgasm without the book.
True that, Danny. That you see, you're married. You're
He
marrying
said
the
without
material.
the book.
That's a woman that knows the truth. That's a
Well,
woman that
now.
knows the truth.
Well, all righty then.
I am 64 years old and next Wednesday, okay?
Well, happy birthday. I'm 63 years
Happy
old. Just
birthday
happened in
early.
December.
I'll be 64.
Happy
next
early
week.
birthday. You look beautiful.
Kevin, you 63?
I'm
I am
63,
63
and
right
the
now.
testosterone level is off the chart.
Man, y'all look. Y'all.
I'm telling you.
And I've been gray since I've been 44. So
I've been gray for 60 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my
I've been
last
gray
name.
for
Mine
20
has been
years.
there since I was 45.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
60
my
now.
You
so.
see what happens when you start to grow up, you children?
Yeah.
All right.
I
I haven't grown up yet. Hey, look, you know what? Even though he's not here, we got to hold up. Wait a minute. We'll put just a little bit of life
coaching in it.
This is Jeff.
J Real.
Redirect, regroup, refocus. All right. He sent us something that he wants us to hear.
J Real.
Here we go.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Life Coach Jeff coming to you here on Dope Living TV Live. Now, I'm not going to be on this particular week, so I'll be coming to you all through videos. So, here we go. We all know that Black History Month is right around the corner, literally tomorrow. Today is January 31st. Tomorrow is February 1st. Literally right around the corner, people. So, what I challenge not just Black folk to do, but I really challenge Black folk to do this, but not just Black folk at all. I challenge everybody to learn their culture, their history, and the things that they have done. Now, what I mean by culture is I mean that, see, I'm Black. So, therefore, my culture derives from African roots. So, if you're Italian or you're French, you know what I mean? Or you may be Creole, or you may be Haitian, or you may be Nigerian, different stuff like that. Learn that culture. Know your culture. Know the different types of practices and studies that you did and your heritage, the things that you all might have been good at, the things you might have been weak at, that you have a chance to actually make stronger for yourself. But in terms of Black people, learn your culture. Know where you come from. We especially have a tarnished image because of how our descendants were kind of brought into this country. But with Black History Month being right around the corner, I encourage all races to also want to learn and to study Black history, because when you actually dig deep into the roots of Black history, and when you look deep into the roots outside of the country, so now we're not just learning Black history within the U.S., because it's a very sheltered and tainted environment in which we learn our education in about ourselves. It's a very small, tainted area. So in order to breach that tainted area, you must go outside of the United States. So I encourage you all to look up some things and learn some things that are outside of the United States about Black people and the role that they the roles that they had also in Europe and also around the world, and the different things that they painted to help shape world culture, not American culture, world culture. So, knowledge is power, everybody. Knowledge is a lot of power. And if we would just take the time to actually open up some books, read some things, and watch some videos of some people who learned some things before we had learned some stuff, and harness that information and use it in a positive and effective way, we can make some change here. So let's just not choose to. We can focus on Black History Month, but let's not choose to just focus on the month. Let's choose to make this 24/7, 365 days a year. Life Coach Jeff, coming to you by way of video through Dope Living TV Live. Remember, redirect, regroup, refocus. I love y'all. Peace out.
All right.
All right.
Hopefully
Get
Joe Rogan
real.
doesn't hear that.
Jeff,
Right.
redirect, refocus, regroup.
Yo.
You'll see him live, I guess, next week. This week he's busy, so he's sending us videos so that we can still get that life coaching in. So thank you, Jeff, for that. And again, we have Danny Smith Mathis with us, and our new brother here, Mr. Kevin McLemore. And real quick with Kevin's book, he and I was looking at it on Amazon, and he puts the words out here. Everyone's looking for love. Why is it so hard to get it, find it, keep it? If an image-driven, instant gratification world of swiping left or right, how can we discover we're actually going to be compatible on a deeper level? And his book is an innovative, creative way to help you make authentic connections with someone new, and to discover early on if you have the mental and emotional attraction that leads to long-term relationships. You guys support the book, and you might learn something.
Damn, man, you're gonna make me cry. Wait a minute, I gotta excuse myself, Danny.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Kevin, I have a question for you.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
You got divorced. So how did you know the next one was the right one?
I did know. Matter of fact, it was actually my best friend.
Yep.
It was 10 years. She when I first met her, she asked when I got a divorce about going out, and I said she did not represent what I needed in a partner. I had 3 young children at that time, and
Single
her
dad
lifestyle
too.
was different. And she had asked me to marry her, and I turned her down.
Oh, she asked you to marry her. She
Yeah,
asked you.
I had no interest in ever getting married again. I will tell you.
I heard that.
And I had a life-changing experience. I had fallen off a ladder and broke my neck, and went through 2 years of rehab. And because of the thoughts that entered my head, the pain was so bad I didn't want to live anymore. And so what I did something that I hadn't done since I was a kid. I turned back to I was looking for answers in the church, and I interviewed several churches. And each time that I sat in a seat in a church, I sat behind someone that went totally against what I believed in. The first time was I sat next to a father that had disowned his daughter and grandchild because she had a mixed race baby. The second time I felt like I went to a church and I felt like I was being hustled. The tray passed around so many times I thought it was a track meet when they were handing out the baton. And then I found one that I sat in. I was, one of very few Black people there, and he gave a sermon. It was the first time I actually heard the Lord's word and actually understood it. And I spent almost a year before she even realized that I was going to church every Sunday. Never did she even pay attention to the fact that I got up every day, dressed up, went to church, came home a little bit, never asked. And it was one day she asked to come with me. And a year later, I decided to get baptized. Called my mom, said that I was going to get baptized in a Christian church. My mom baptized me when I was a child as Catholic, and I said, "This is my choice. You made a choice for me." And she made a decision at the same time when I committed to also commit herself to the Lord. And we both got baptized together. When I came out of the water, the first thing she said, "Will you marry me now?" And I said yes. And then I walked out of the church and I said, damn, I got to figure out some way to get out of this because I didn't mean it.
Wow.
Wait, Kevin. The spirit,
And so
was coming
I
over
did
you.
everything in my power to try to get out of it. I picked a fight. I don't know. We had 6 months of nothing, but I was trying to screw up, and we ended up getting married. It didn't work.
That doesn't sound like that story to me at all.
That's a
Because
movie.
it's still going on. He's married. He's still married.
How long y'all been
So
married?
how long has it been, Kevin?
4 years.
Nice.
4
Very
years.
good.
Okay.
Very good.
Hey,
That's
Danny,
good.
are you out there looking?
No, do we have
Tell the truth, Daddy. Tell the truth.
No, I'm not. Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Has anybody kissed you on the forehead lately?
Oh no, because I know that's the one. I know that's the one. I know that's the one. For real, for real.
Look at Mo B sitting back in his chair. Look at it.
Very happily married.
Hey,
But
Very
you guys
happily
don't know
married,
if he
yeah.
say too much.
No,
He
it's
gonna get popped
I've
in the
been
head.
married for 25. We've been together for 30. So
Hey, dude,
Listen.
that look like my house. Where you get that
Yeah.
picture from?
Where? Me?
I actually,
Mo's house. Okay.
No, Maurice.
All right, Danny,
Now
tell
this-
us about it.
So I was married for 26 years.
Wow.
I got married at 26. I got divorced at 52.
wow.
So I came out of a domestic violence situation, which was my first co-authored book. I never talk about that. Domestic violence, survivors celebrating life beyond domestic violence. And I really am celebrating my life. So I didn't, after I got divorced, I didn't date for 5 years. Then I did. And it was just like, no, no. And then I not met someone, but I was dating last year, actually.
Go ahead, girl.
But it didn't work because he was a widow. He was widowed, and he wasn't ready.
He was
wasn't
love.
ready.
He wasn't ready for all of that,
He
right?
wasn't ready.
He was
wasn't
still
ready.
in love.
No, his wife had been murdered tragically
Yeah.
by his own child.
Whoa.
And it was just
Is the child still alive?
Yes, in jail.
In jail.
But yeah, so it was a very, very difficult situation. But this is someone I knew. I had known for a while, for 15 years, before that. Knew his wife, knew his kids and everything. Our families were friends. And, he asked us to holler at me. And I wasn't looking for anything. I wasn't looking for a relationship. I've been fine for a long time.
Danny said he was hollering at me.
He came to me. I don't roll like that. So, yeah. And I was like, okay, and I just,
You don't give it a swing.
grief thing. I just think it was a grief thing. And then there were just some other things and some red flags for me. And I was like,
Danny,
See, I would be really afraid to date an author because you're probably right about it if I mess up.
No, they don't write about it. If they do write about it, they won't use your name.
It won't win the
no,
first
we
try.
just write.
I don't know.
We wouldn't give you the satisfaction.
Okay, put your name
We would
in
not
now.
give you the satisfaction.
No, we write deep poetry.
Yeah. And Danny, believe it or not, the 54 cards that come with the dating with the full deck, 52 of them have conversations on there that what you experienced in 1 year, you'd have found out in an hour and a half of
I
your first
don't
date.
doubt it. I don't doubt it. Yeah, I don't doubt it. Yeah. So the thing about it is, the reason I asked you that question, Kevin, how you knew, you said you didn't, was because, see, if I even thought that I was safe because I knew this person for 15 years, and it was like I found out totally the opposite. So that's what really makes me say, I don't.
Well, that date was only preparing you for what's yet to come, because as soon as you exit one relationship, All right. It's like pulling up to a gas pump and there's only regular gas. You know you're gonna run off of it for a while when your car needs to have premium
Right.
or super. And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden you run into the point that you start filling it with the stuff that it really needs.
Yeah.
You know, good times are about to come your way as long as you're open to it. All right.
Okay. I mean, it's not that I'm not open to it. I just think at some point in time, see, I have a lot of feminine energy that's not being used.
Go ahead, girl. God
Yeah,
damn.
yeah. Wait a minute. Danny, the first thing that you need
Greg
to
also a little bit.
see,
He can't handle it.
this is a problem. It's not that you have a lot of feminine energy that you're not use. You like to get it on, and you want someone that can bounce the walls the same way you do. All right, you need.
This just turned into the relationship show.
Are we
Anyway,
really having this
on Monday.
conversation?
No, it's just, and that's the reason why men get confused because
What do
you
you
guys
mean?
you guys use words that we don't understand.
So, well, you just understood what I said.
That's because I study human nature, and believe it or not, I have an appetite that says I need to be at a smorgasbord, so I understand that.
Oh,
Hey,
okay.
Donnie, I sure in the hell understood what you said.
Okay, thank you, Greg. I appreciate it. Yeah. Because see, like people say, "Oh, you're like I'm not." No, I'm not an alpha woman. I don't even want to be an alpha woman. I never wanted to be an alpha woman. I didn't even when that wasn't even a term. I didn't want to be that. So I don't want to be an alpha woman. I'm not an alpha woman. I never was an alpha woman. The women that reared me weren't alpha women. That's why they had strong men. I came from a paternal upbringing.
See, I found out the truth of a best-selling authored book, and I went to the movie theater when it opened up. I saw 2 lines of women and 10 men when 50 Shades of Grey showed up, and I watched all those women line up. I'm going, you know something? You guys have been lying to us. You guys are kinky. You guys are into it, and you're telling us what, oh, we're bad people. The blinds are off. We know what's going on.
Yeah, I don't know.
A whole line of closet freaks. That's what it was, man.
Well,
A whole line of them.
And there's nothing wrong with being that. It's like you have to be honest, because if we're into that, it's okay. If we're not, we've got to be open to being educated and have that experience. Because some of us,
Gotta know how to be.
we think it in the back of our mind, and we're so worried about being judged, we don't say it. And that's the reason why there's a +1. She's doing something that the other person won't do, or he's doing something that the other woman's not, other man's not doing. And that's why we have to be authentic with ourselves and what our needs are. We can't put these titles on that we're so superior and whatever. We're human, and there's nothing wrong with it. Men, it's like the Olympics. We all want the gold medal, but we're speed skaters, and we want to get there in world record time. And you guys are figure skaters. You want to get there. You want the gold medal just like we do.
Actually, Kevin, I'm actually a speed skater.
Oh man, I wish I was single.
No, what?
No,
Okay.
No, I literally did. Look at Greg.
Look at Maurice over there.
All right.
I'm literally a speed skater. I've speed skated since 1971. I am a speed skater.
She is.
Oh man, you just killed the fantasy. I thought, God damn.
What you gonna say next?
All right, we're gonna edit that out.
Oh, see, y'all thought Danny was innocent, and just an author writing books.
Wait a minute, though. Here's the other thing, okay? Kevin brought up a very good point, and I'd like to ask the panel.
Yes.
Have you all ever had +1s?
No.
No.
You ain't never had no threesomes?
Come on now.
Heck no.
No, what I mean by a +1 is the one your number one doesn't know about.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, now you're revealing something about yourself. Now let's
They had
ask
a
you, Greg, have you
+1,
ever had one?
a +1, a +2, and a +3.
Greg, we'll edit that out. We will edit that out.
But you got to remember, I did a TV show for a long time, okay? So it was thrown at me, okay? Back then, right now they say there's 6 men every 6 women every man, but there was like 13 or 14 being in the industry. And
More than that.
I was trying to get them all.
More than
Greg,
that.
there is no
Greg, let me
excuse because
tell
you're in
you
that
this.
lifestyle.
If anyone invites you to be that extra one when there's two, you're just being invited to your partner having an affair. You're just a witness to a car crash because believe it or not,
Yeah.
you're just okay in something you're not really invited to. Well, he's here. Let him enjoy it, but this is what I want to do.
Well, it never been with a guy. I mean, with guys.
I didn't say anything about a guy.
My girl, you know, it's been damn.
Damn, Greg,
You can't get it out. Quit while you're ahead.
Greg is revealing all his secrets now.
Greg.
He's always
the guy?
This your first time watching the show?
Who's the guy, Greg?
I'm so transparent. It's funny, man.
Who's the guy?
No, I ain't a guy. Nah.
Oh, you brought it up. Let's talk about it, Greg.
Well, I thought you was talking about the bat swinging.
Let's talk about it, Greg.
I don't clink bats. I don't clink bats.
No, not doing that. Not doing that.
So
No. So the
AC
answer for me was no. I've never had a +1. Now you started to define that a little differently. So
over there getting hot, y'all. You see she moving the sweater. Go ahead.
Yeah, I gotta move. I'm getting a little hot. No, but go ahead, Kevin. Define that.
I've never met until I watched the Olympic trials a black figure skater.
What?
Yeah, you had to be rich because to get ice time, black people don't ice skate.
I skated in New Jersey. I started out as a
the only time a black person ice skates is they're running through the woods and they slip and they're trying to take a shortcut across the water.
I skated.
This is what I'm talking about when I was telling you all about my experience. Really was this. I started out, I played tennis in the 70s. Nobody was playing tennis. We were afraid to go to the tennis courts because we had to run. We had to go, in order to get to the tennis courts, we had to walk by the brothers playing ball in the summertime. And playing pickup, in the summer ball. And they were always looking at us because, we had all these short skirts and everything. And I was like 12 years old. And so that was a little embarrassing. And so we were playing tennis, embarrassed because we were playing tennis at 12 years old back in the early 70s. Okay. Then I was speed skating, but I was figure skating in the 60s. I was speed skating since I was 8. And I was speed skating. I was figure skating when I was 8. And then when I became 5 years later at 13, it wasn't cool to be a figure skater because my friends, we were going ice skating on Friday nights after piano lessons. And the thing is, I couldn't go to the figures. I couldn't go to the arena unless I had passed all my piano. We got graded on our notes. We got graded on our playing our songs and everything. And I had a lady from England that was teaching me. She would keep a book and everything. And my parents were like staunch about this, piano thing. And we were just passing piano so we could go skate on Friday nights. And then skating on Friday nights became like, oh man, the coolest session was they let the couple skate, they let the kids skate, they let the freestyle skate,
just like roller skate.
And then they said, now the last session is for speed skaters only on the ice. And I couldn't get on that ice because I was a figure skater, and it was so cool to me. And I was like, that's it, I'm done with figure skating. And I remember I still have the exact same skates my parents bought me in 1971, the speed skates that my parents.
Well, you're not alone. I played hockey.
I've ever heard a black person doing any of the stuff you just listed.
Me neither.
Yeah, they broke in.
No, we did it. We were doing it.
My problem.
Moby, you figure skated?
I played hockey.
No,
see, Moby, where are you from? Up north?
And all of that, man. Get out of here. He's figure skating.
Indiana.
Maurice.
What?
Where in the heck did you play hockey in Gary?
Look, let me tell you. I told you we stayed off of Fifth Avenue, which was back there in the bushes. We was plumb out the city, nearly out the state, and it was back there in the bushes, and it wasn't nothing but ponds and stuff like they froze over, and we froze over, and it was white people staying out there, so they taught us how to ice skate.
My problem with speed skating is this, especially with black people. We already run.
What?
But where the hell was you trying to get to so fast? On ice.
Well, I just like going around anything that goes around the track fast. Horses, people, or cars. I've actually driven NASCAR. I've literally driven the Charlotte Motor Speedway. I went around the track 5 times in 2.5 minutes at 140 miles per hour.
That was it.
By myself in a car, the first time ever. All I had on.
Wait, hold on. Hold on.
Hey,
Only
I'm going to tell you
140?
everything you listed sounds like
You said that
criminal.
was it.
It sounds criminal.
It's
I
like first time,
broke
OG. What
into
can I tell
NASCAR.
you?
Wait a minute. Up until the last 5 years, you never seen a black man at a NASCAR race, let alone in one. And hockey the same way.
Wendell Scott was there. We didn't see him
Yeah.
personally because he was gone.
Danny, just tell the truth. You down with the swirl? You was trying to get your little light skin.
Well, and you also had Willie T. Ribs too.
Ribs.
There you go. Yeah. So Bubba Wallace is. Y'all should watch that documentary. He talk about Black History Month. Watch that documentary on Bubba Wallace on Netflix.
Is he still alive?
Bubba Wallace?
Yes.
Bubba Wallace ain't but 20-some years.
I was just saying, that's a young boy.
Danny,
that's the
let
new
me ask
guy.
you a question since we're talking about black figure skaters and Olympic trials.
Yeah.
The world's fastest human being on ice was denied an opportunity to compete in the women's speed skating because she slipped, and she announced that she could have faked a fall. And our U.S. our U.S. ice skating team would not allow her to strap up and do it over again. Now, Usain Bolt didn't qualify for the last Olympics, and his country went through and found a race that he qualified, and he went out to win another gold. Why is the U.S. So hard on our black people when it comes to the rules?
Racism.
Come on now. Are you really asking that question?
You know, I already know.
I'm just learning something about my fiance that I didn't even know.
I already know the answer, but I can tell you there are a couple people that are listening to this broadcast that are saying, good answer, good answer. We don't know, because we have a tendency as people of color to not admit that what we're seeing and what we're hearing is the truth. And I don't have to talk about how we voted.
Right. So it's the same reason why Avery Brundage and them kicked Carlos out and kicked Carlos and Tommy out of the village after that 200-meter support of human rights. Okay, we will not call it the Black Power salute, because that is not what it was.
Right.
It was the salute in support of human rights.
Correct.
And that's all it was. And it was nothing more, it was nothing less. And you got to get the language right on that.
Well, Danny, what I can tell you is this. Number one, I mean, you speed skated and whatever, okay? But if I had been back there when you speed skating, I'd have been the first Nancy Kerrigan with a little pipe, and I'd have knocked you in your knees. Ain't no black folks supposed to be doing all that speed.
Man, please.
Why not?
All you have
Why
to
not?
do,
Why not?
Danny, stay in the middle of the ice. He didn't look like Chris Rock trying to get up on that ice.
Well, I tell you what, if I had training, I would have been the first Aaron Jackson. Aaron Jackson would have been breaking my records.
I'm
gonna tell you, I had so much fun.
I'm proud of you being an award-winning author. I'm proud of you of being an example of a fine, strong Black woman. And I'm proud of you of owning your own truth. That's chapter 6.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, and get the book Orgasms. And
that's why I said she's on chapter 6.
Chapter 6. Wait, Kevin already knows where I am. I want to talk Detroit Lions for a minute.
Oh, Lord.
Go ahead.
No, I do. I want to know what position you played and when you played.
Defensive back and special teams. Now the kicker is at 165 pounds, running a 4.440. That and I'll tell all young men that are trying to play at a much higher level, learn the long snap, because or learn to punt. Because if you look what happened this season, they were literally auditioned cheerleaders in the NFL to punt when someone went down. And I learned the long snap when I was in college. Never knew that, playing around, being stupid, that one day I was going to, all of our centers were going to get hurt, and they called me into the game. I'm going, no, I play defense. I'm not playing. I'm not hiking the ball, because those guys get hit every time.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I did say, don't specialize in anything, be universal. And that's the same way in life. Keep your options open and dream big.
Did you play with Calvin Johnson?
No, this was back in 1981.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Danny.
Yes, sir.
I would like
to I'm a 49ers fan. Don't judge, but
no, I just want to thank you for
that's okay.
hanging out with us, man. It's been great. We enjoyed
Thank you.
Yes,
I had a ball. I had a ball. Did we, Gina? This is good, Gina.
Is there anything you'd like to say as we get ready to leave? Is anything you want to tell the people?
Well, yes. Please, everyone who's listening, follow this show, support these brothers and sisters on a regular. And yeah, just I'm just thankful that I'm here. I pray that people will really appreciate life, because you should not take it for granted. Just remember that from every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. So keep it moving.
All right. Kevin Newby, man, give us some.
The only thing I will say is understand what wealth is. Okay, wealth is not, and I've said this before, wealth is not what you deposit into your bank account. Wealth is what you deposit into someone's heart.
Absolutely. Moby, what's up?
Hey, of somebody that ice skate too, as brown as me, that's a beautiful thing. That's and that's something Greg didn't know about. I mean, that's something all of these folks up here didn't know. But that's when I was younger, and it kind of actually morphed into roller skating all night long. Wow. And that's where the DJ thing came in. So that was many moons ago. I haven't done it in a while, but I enjoyed you tonight, Miss Mathis.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you for everything.
I just want to say I also enjoyed you, Danny, tonight. Very interesting, your past and your books. And thank you for coming on. I want to welcome Kevin again to the Dope Living family. And for those, our viewers, I would like to just say, dream big. Don't listen to others if they try to break you down to tell you that your dreams are not possible, because with God, all things are possible.
Right.
Gina.
Yes, it's been a pleasure. This has really been fun. I like I said, I knew I had been talking to Danny, and we were talking when I was in Virginia, and I just wanted to meet her so much because she just was a joy. And now this is just taking it to another level,
Yeah.
But you know what? Purchase the book.
Yes.
Support. I mean, she's a Distinguished Authors Guild award-winning author, and that says a lot. The book is worth reading. Purchase it, support, and just uplift.
Absolutely.
All right.
Hey, look, I just wanted to say real quick. You want to say who's that?
No, I was echoing what Gina just said.
Okay. I just want to say really quick that tomorrow starts Black History Month. We want to celebrate each and every individual that we can. We want to celebrate their accomplishments, people that are living their dreams and following their journeys and making things happen. All right. Understand, you cannot make your journey happen. You cannot continue to go forward if you keep looking backwards. Once you have done this, tomorrow offers a whole new opportunity to do something new, to create a new dream, create a new journey. If the one that you're on is not working, all right, close that door and let it slam in back of you. Let it just slam really hard, all right, and keep walking forward, all right, because that's the only way that you're going to succeed. That's the only way that you're going to make your dreams come true. And with all of that, everything that we do, pray, get God.
Amen.
An opportunity.
God first.
Absolutely. Amen to that.
He has to give you the guidance in order to do it. You don't do this on your own,
Nope.
So, and look, family, we got a lot of stuff to do. We are 211 shows, everybody. All right. Thanks to you guys for inspiring us as we try to inspire you and educate and enlighten you. We got a lot more to do. We got my man Kevin on here. Danny, you're welcome to come back and hang out with us at some point. Gina, make sure that happens. All right. But we got a lot of stuff to do tomorrow. Like I said, it's Black History Month. Are we doing relationships tomorrow?
I thought we were.
Yeah, man. Kevin, you're gonna love this, all right? Anyway.
And you hang, Kevin.
Every
Danny.
day, we want to
And
make
you
sure.
hang. I might have to come back for that.
Come on back, girl. Every day,
Yes.
we make sure that we're inspiring, okay? But you know, I don't know.
It's gonna be good. I got some doozy questions.
What is that, Gina? Gina says, "Shut them down, Black women, racism, in corporate America."
So did FYI real
That's
quick.
it.
Did y'all hear about the 6 historically black conscious getting
Danny,
bomb
come
threats?
back.
No, I didn't hear it until you put it in the chat. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy, ain't it?
It's live now.
No, it's not.
But we're gonna get through it, man. We're gonna do everything
No.
we can. Like I said, we're gonna smile. We're gonna get through it. And it's gonna be great, y'all. Trust me. Because a lot of stuff that happens out there, yes, we got to talk about it. As Kevin said, we got to talk about this sex trafficking. We got to talk about
Yes,
it.
yeah.
We got to talk about all of this stuff because we shut up and we be silent, okay? It's gonna continue. We need to put it on a bigger platform, and I guarantee everybody, okay, Dope Living TV Live is going to do that. All right. I thank you, guys, Danny, for coming on with us. Thank Eve Gomez for coming on with us. Dope Living TV Live. We will see you guys tomorrow. It's going to be foolish tomorrow. Like
It was foolish tonight.
Oh no! Come back,
No.
Danny. Tomorrow. Come back tomorrow. Relationship days
Tomorrow
are off.
and Wednesday. We
My
got
gosh.
spoken word.
So this was just you preempted it.
Yeah. You just
Danny,
don't know.
Nothing.
Danny, you don't know me. You don't know
This
me.
was the clean version, Danny.
Yeah.
Clean
Trust me.
version. Oh my gosh. Oh, y'all had to edit Kevin out. Oh my God.
You come back tomorrow. Come back tomorrow. Come back the day after tomorrow. And oh my goodness.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Eve.
Thank you, Eve. We appreciate you. We love you.
Most definitely, most definitely. Dope Living TV Live, y'all. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll pick up then.
Bye-bye. Take care.